Good morning and welcome to your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Wednesday, July 14th. I'm National Weather Service meteorologist Kevin Smith. Unfortunately, hot and dry conditions continue. We're going to sound like a broken record here. Pattern remains in place. We've still got smoke coming in from wildfires across the Pacific Northwest. Just those really warm temperatures, really dry conditions, but there's a couple little hints, little glimmers of hope as we head into next week, and we'll touch on that here in just a moment. First, one day of some isolated to scattered dry thunderstorms possible across the region Thursday afternoon and evening. Our initial guess on timing here, particularly in the 2 p.m. to about 9 p.m. time frame for most of the area. Unfortunately, though, lightning and gusty, erratic outflow winds are the biggest concerns out of these storms. Just looking at the different levels of the atmosphere and the guidance we have available, we just don't have a lot of moisture. Again, those dry conditions remain in place, so not good news for fire crews and those with fire weather interests across the region. Now, next Tuesday, this is looking interesting. Potential for some monsoon moisture to finally wrap northward into Idaho. Starting a little bit on Monday, but particularly from Tuesday onward next week. And it's a little ways out. We'll have to continue to monitor the model guidance on that signal. But certainly potentially a good sign there for maybe working a little extra moisture our way and breaking this pattern just a little bit. So a couple interesting things we can discuss here on the satellite loop. A little bit of a spin in the water vapor here way up off the coast of Alaska, not unlike what we've been showing you the last couple days. We have yet another area of low pressure that's going to tend to sink off to the east-southeast here, eventually approaching the Seattle area and kind of the west coast of Canada here. But it's going to be blocked. I put this yellow line in here, and it's going to be blocked by the influence of this high. This high right now, this high pressure system is located down over Southern California, Southern Nevada, and slowly over the course of the next 7 days or so, it's going to move up to the northeast, kind of along this arrow, and intensify as it does. So we're going to end up with this high sitting just to the southeast of the state of Idaho. As it does this, the strength of this high pressure system is just going to block that low pressure from coming in. So number one, not a big pattern change expected because of this setup, but this is going to support two different things. One, intensifying heat, unfortunately, particularly as we get out to Sunday, Monday. I mean, it's already hot. We have very warm temperatures every day in the forecast, but Sunday, Monday looks like we'll make yet another run at some upper 90s to low 100s across lower elevations. Again, supported by this high intensifying and moving to the northeast. But picture this high up here just to the southeast of our forecast area, and with a clockwise flow, as I'm indicating with my pointer here, around that high, that's what's going to pump some of this monsoon moisture further north across southern and eastern portions of Idaho as we get into early to mid next week and give us a little bit more of a hope of some wetter thunderstorm activity coming into the picture. Weather and impacts outlook here. You see lots of hot, no surprise there. A lot of areas we're expecting those isolated thunderstorms here on Thursday afternoon and evening. Not so much in the eastern Magic Valley. I think you'll probably sneak out dry, but many other areas across the region, particularly our mountain ranges and maybe some portions of the Snake Plain, getting in on some of those isolated thunderstorms. For our fire weather partners, we're on the fence right now as to whether this will hold at isolated activity or whether some areas will be more scattered in nature with these thunderstorms. Again, they'll be dry, but if we get to that scattered coverage, we'll be watching to see if we need any red flag warnings for any of our zones Thursday afternoon and evening. Couple lingering storms on Friday in the eastern highlands in particular, and maybe up towards Salmon. But other than that, warm to hot conditions continue Friday and Saturday, intensifying Sunday. Here comes 2 or 3 days of even better heat, if that's the word to use for that, across the region. Snake Plain, Eastern Magic Valley, South Hills, looking at best chance there for making runs at 100 degrees or better, again, starting on Sunday and Monday. Taking a look across the region this morning, no watches, warnings, or advisories in effect for our forecast area. Do have a red flag warning out for portions of Boise's forecast area, and this butts right up against our central mountain region, and this is in effect for both today and Thursday. High temperatures across the region today, upper 80s to mid 90s for most locales, even up toward Chalice, 92. As usual, Island Park, Driggs, maybe down toward Montpelier, a little bit more comfortable, topping out in the mid to upper 80s. Minimum relative humidity during the afternoon and evening, flirting with critical thresholds for fire weather partners here, particularly as you go west and south across the forecast area, but doing a little bit better for a day or two up in the upper Snake Plain and over toward the Wyoming border, where readings will probably be above 15% for their minimums. And wind is going to be a saving grace. Generally not expecting winds to get high enough to reach our fire weather criteria, our critical fire weather thresholds over the next 7 days or so. So the focus is going to be dry in the low levels and then moisture levels. And again, chance of a few thunderstorms on Thursday being the first concern there. Speaking of Thursday, temperatures very similar to Wednesday. Again, upper 80s to upper 90s, warmest here in the Eastern Magic Valley. Very similar readings in terms of the wind gusts and minimum relative humidity values as shown here. Friday, we gain a degree or two for some areas, but still not a lot of change. Upper 80s to upper 90s continuing across southeast Idaho as we approach the weekend. We'll start to trend drier here on this left panel for our minimum relative humidities during the afternoon. Most areas now making a run at 15% or lower by Friday, but still wind gusts, these are gusts shown over here on the right, generally topping out about 15-20 miles an hour for most locations on Friday. Taking a look at your weekend temperatures now, Saturday we gain another degree or two, but still holding in the upper 90s. And then Sunday over here on the right panel, here we go, making a run at almost 100 degrees for Pocatello, down to Malad and Preston, 100 or a little better out towards Shoshone, Jerome, and Burley. So we start to ramp that heat up a little bit. Still very dry across the region, very critical low relative humidity values both Saturday and Sunday for just about everyone out there. Again, we're really waiting for about Tuesday next week is when the models are indicating we may see this increased surge of monsoon moisture and a little bit of relief on that front. Last thing we'll peek at here, and is kind of what I was just talking about, looking out in the 8 to 14 day period, and again, really starting Tuesday or so. The Climate Prediction Center now showing near normal to a chance. Odds are favoring slightly above normal precipitation across our region, particularly the southern half of our forecast area. Seeing that little bit of glimmer of hope as we work in some of that monsoon moisture into the area. And there you have it. Again, hot and dry continuing. A few of those thunderstorms on Thursday, but really holding off until Tuesday or so for that moisture coming in with intensifying heat once again as we go into the weekend and early next week. That's it for your hazard briefing this morning. If you have questions, comments, concerns for us, please feel free to reach out using the information here at the bottom of the slide, and have a great day.